Hey guys, we're going to be doing a lesson on factoring today. There is a practice sheet that we're going to be doing together. It's down below on Schoology. And then before we get into that, I want to go over what is a factor and then how to do this rainbow method I'm going to do with you. Okay? So first, if I have this sentence, what part of that do you think is a factor? Right, well, I'm hoping you said the 3 and the 2. And if you did, you're right. The things that we multiply together are our factors. They're what gives us our answers. We need the factors. Without the factors, you're not going to get an answer. Okay, so if I gave you the number 12 and I wanted all the factors for 12, we're going to imagine that we're putting them along a line. Okay, you don't have to draw the line. We're going to imagine we're putting them along a line. And I put the identity property pretty far apart. And that's what you learned yesterday, that 1 times the number will always give you that same number. All right, then we're going to move up a step. Anything times 2 give me 12? I hope you said 6. And if you did, you are right. And then we move up 1. Anything times 3 give you 12? You're right, 4. And notice I'm putting these commas in. If I miss putting a comma in, see how it looks like 46? So you need to make sure you're putting in those commas. And 12 has a lot of factors. If they repeated, we wouldn't write them twice. We'd only write them once. But there's all the factors for 12. Quite a lot. All right, so let's start into this paper. All right. For number 1A, they gave us the number 7. Let me write that on half because these are pretty little numbers. Okay, so 1A gave us 7 and 1B gives us 4. All right, 7. Start with the identity property. Okay, then we try to go up a step. Well, nothing times 2 gives me 7. Okay, so I'm going to erase that. We try a 3. Well, 3 times 2 is 6. That's close, but that's not a 7. About 4. 4 times 2 would give me 8. Well, that's too big. So that's it. 7 only has 2 factors, 1 and 7. Okay, so pretty little. All right, 4. So we start off with our identity property. Is there anything? Can I go to 2? Yes, this is even. Anything even will divide by 2. Okay, and 2 times, hopefully you've already said 2. If you did, you're right. So our factors are 1, 2, and 4. We don't write the 2 twice. Okay. And some other words I want to throw at you here before we move on to the next 2 that you will be hearing are the words prime and composite. Okay, what that means is if there's only 2 factors, 1 and the number, this is a prime number. Okay, 1 and itself, that's it. This one has an extra number. So this is not a prime number. This number is composite. Okay, so prime, 1 in itself. Composite, there will have extra numbers in there. Okay. All right, number 2. I have a 6. So 1, 6, always start with that identity property. I'm going to move up 1. Well, anything times 2, yes, it is even. Happens to be a 3. Remember to put your comma in. I have numbers that are side by side, okay? When they are side by side like that, that tells you you're done. You can't go any further. And I have a 1 and a 6. So my factors are 1, 2, 3, and 6. All right, so far, not too bad. All right, the next one a little bit bigger. Still doable. You can still do this. All right, so we're given the number 32. So let's start with our identity property. 1 and 32. All right, well, I know that it's even because it ends in a 2. So I know it's divisible by 2. Okay, there are 2 ways that you can go about figuring these out if they are not on the multiplication chart. You can either try multiplying or you can try dividing. Either way will get you there. Just depends on which one you feel more comfortable with. I'm going to show you both. Okay. If you're not sure what times 2 will give you 32, play around with it. You might have to multiply a couple things times 2. Well, I know that 15 times 2 will give me 30. Okay. Not quite there yet. I need to get another set of 2. So let me try 16. 16 times 2. Okay, 6 times 2 is 12. Carry my 1 up there. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1. There we go. So you can either try multiplying, or if you know how to divide, you can try dividing. 32 divided by 2. 2 goes into 3 once. Bring your 2 down. And 2 goes into 12 6 times. So it's whichever method you feel more comfortable with. Okay? All right. 3. Let's see, can I divide this or multiply it by 3? Well, if you're not sure, because I don't know that 3 can be divided, and I know 3, looking at my multiplication chart, will give me even and odd numbers. I'm going to give you a little hint. Okay, up on Schoology, I put some divisibility rules. Okay, they help you. So if your number for the divisibility rules for 3, it says if the sum of the digits is divisible by 3. Okay, so let's add these up. 3 plus 2 gives me 5. Is 5 divisible by 3? Nope, I can't divide 5 and 3. So that tells me 3, not going to happen. Okay, well, let's try 4. Okay, well, I know looking at this, 4s are even. But, oh, look, there it is. So sometimes I can find these on my multiplication chart. So 32, if I go straight up the column, there it is, 8. So 4 times 8. Okay, let's look at 5s. If the last digit is a 0 or a 5, well, 32 ends in a 2, so it can't be 5. Okay, 6. If the number is divisible by 2 and 3, well, it's not divisible by 2 and 3. Okay, so that doesn't work. And again, these rules, I'm going to put them up on Schoology for you. All right, and 7. Let's look through 7. There's a 35, but there's no 32. So 7 is not it. So these are all of the option or our factors for 32. And again, because there's so many of them, this is a composite number. Okay, so these can be a little tricky. If it's not on your chart and you're not sure of your fact or your multiplication facts, they can be a little tricky. But again, do the ones you know and then come back and ask me for help with the ones you're not sure of. All right, number 3A, it's 50. All right, so let's start with our identity property, 50. Okay, let's move up 1, 2, because 0 is considered even. And I know that'll divide by 2. So if you're not sure, you can try multiplying. You can try dividing. I prefer the dividing because it's a little quicker. Got that. Or, again, you can try playing around. I know 20 times 2 will give me 40. So not quite there. So I got to go up a little bit more. Okay, so let's try 30 times 2. Well, that gives me 60. I need to be right in the middle. So this is 25. Okay. Again, a couple methods. Sometimes you have to use your brains. You've got good ones. All right. And 3. Okay, so if the sum of the digits is divisible by 3. All right, 5 plus 0 gives me 5. And we already said from the last one, 5 is not divisible by 3. All right, so we can't do 3. Let's try 4. Okay, it says if the last digit's divisible by 4. No, 0 is not divisible by 4, so there's no 4. Okay, 5. Well, if the number ends in a 5 or a 0. Well, that ends in a 0. I bet you if we look on here, there it is. 5 times 10. 5 times 10. Okay, so let's try 6. Now these numbers will be on here. So if we go across, no 6, and the divisibility rule for 6 is if it's divisible by 2 and 3, and it's not. Okay, so 7. Let's go across to 7 because we got to get up to 10. No, there's a 49. No. Okay, so 7 can't be it. Let's look at 8. No, there's a 48, but there's no 50. And finally, 9. And there's a 54, but there's no 50. So these are all of the factors. 1, 2, 5, 10, 25, and 50. And for our rainbow, there are those. And again, more than just the identity. So this is again considered a composite number. Okay. All right, one more I'm going to try or walk with you, and then I want you guys to try the last 2 by yourselves. All right, so 20. 1, 20. Okay, it is even, so that means it will divide by 2. 2 times what gives me 20? 10. All right, let's keep going up. 3. If I add them together, does it divide by 3? Nope. So there is no 3. All right. How about number 4? Well, hopefully you know 4 times 5 will give you 20. And the divisibility rule is if the last 2 digits are divided by 4. Well, that doesn't happen. There's only 2 there. We have them side by side. So that means we are done. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, and 20. And again, there's a lot, so this is a composite number. Okay, so I would like you to pause this video, and I want you to try 4A and 4B, and then unpause the video after you're done, and we'll see if you got them right. Okay, so pause. I hope you paused. All right, so the first number is 42. 142. It is divisible by 2 because it is even, and that's 21. It is divisible by 3 because when I add these together, I get the number 6. And 3 is divisible by 6. So 3 times happens to be 14. That's a pretty big number. Get that out of the glare for you. All right, and then our side-by-side numbers, 6 and 7. So 6 times 7, 4 or 3 times 14, 2 times 21, and 1 times 42. Hopefully you did pretty well on that one. And then the last one, 14. Start with our identity property. It is even. 2 times what? 2 times 7. And there are no more numbers in between. So this one has 1, 2, 7, and 14 as its factors. Okay, so what I want you guys to try to do is there is a worksheet identifying factors. Scooch that over. They use the rainbow method like I was just using. You have spaces for each of the factors. That is a nice hint. So if you only have 2, look back to 1A, and that should help. Okay, so each of these will be filled in. Okay, there are 15 to do. Some are big, some are little. You guys can do this, okay? All right, guys. You have any trouble, you get hold of me, and I will see you later. Bye.